Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. And Shalom that I give him teaching his word throughout the four corners in true sincerity. I'm back with another lesson through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai. Lord, wouldn't it be edifying unto the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai. Alright, and before I get into the lesson, the true name of God is Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. The name of his son is Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers. Alright, and Yahweh will send Yahweh Shai. Alright, and Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus. It's not his name is not Jesus, number one. It's Yahweh Shai. And God's name is not just God. Yes, he's a God, but his name is not just God. It's Yahweh. Yahweh. Alright, which means he is or he exists, and those names are said in the Hebrew, so it would be Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? And Bahashem meaning in the name. Okay, but Yahweh will send Yahweh Shai in these last days to deliver the elect, from the four winds via, chariots, via unidentified flying objects, okay, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons, all right, that is now being common knowledge that they exist, due to Esau, Edom, all right, but, we know he's not doing that for, truth's sake, because he got his own, evil fucking plans. All right, but, the topic is not really focused on that, but really getting into, all right, talking about the kingdom, and meditating about, the kingdom, all right, just, hopped on my spirit to talk about, how beautiful, all right, how, amazing and how peaceful, all right, the kingdom will be, all right, how the kingdom will be on, established on planet Earth, all right, once Esau, Edom gets taken out of his rulership. And who is Esau, Edom? Is, Caucasians, just so-called, white people. Because they are the ones that run, the world. Not only America, but the whole earth has been given, into the hand of the wicked. And let me start with that, right? Job 9:24. I'm going to wrap it back into the topic. Of course, Job 9:24, just to prove the point. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, all right? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That means that the rulership of the earth has been given into the wicked. And let's use our context, our context clues. All right, who runs the world truly? All right, who was in charge when the earth, when the world got shut down? It was these crackers. They shut this shit down. Who has the most influence that they're able to go into another nation, seize their resources, and come back as if nothing happened? Esau, Edom. All right, who has control over the currency? Esau, Edom. All right, who has the most powerful, military to do whatever he wants, and he's proud as hell? Esau, Edom. So we all know who runs the world, all right? And it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And who are the judges? All right, us, the so-called, our forefathers, okay? All right? He has whitewashed the images, okay, of the Israelites, of the Most High, Yahweh, his son, Yahweh Shai, the angels, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, the men of the scriptures, all right, King David, all right, because they making more shows and movies about King David. They put King David looking like a heathen, all right, or but that's not the true images, all right. It's called iconoclasm, the whitewashing, all right, the depiction of the Israelites, okay, but. The earth is given this hand of the wicked. So before we get into the kingdom, this devil has to be taken down. But when he does get taken down, all right, the beautiful thing about it is that the earth will be at peace. Okay, the earth will be at peace. All right. I really want to start at 1. All right, and I am going to start at 1. All right, because this goes into the kingdom as well. It says, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. All right, who represents the nation of Israel? All right, who are the true chosen people of the scriptures? All right, it's not, those people that are in the land of Israel today, and maybe Israelites mixed. There are Israelites mixed, among them, because Israel is scattered. But those are not the true people that you see walking around with the small hats. All right, those are Amalekites. Okay, Edomites as well. All right, those are Amalekites. Right? They're walking around with them small hats, They'll be dressing in black coats and vests. All right, they'll be having, Goldilocks, hair and beards and shit like that. Those are not the true chosen people. And to prove it, all right, scriptures talk about how when we get set in the land, there will be peace on earth. There is no peace on earth, all right? In fact, they're at war now, all right, with Iran, with America as well. And when we get into power, there won't be any wars. And we won't especially go to Esau, Edom, for help, war, right? But continuing on, it says, and set them in their own land. So they're going to get taken out of the land. And the Lord's going to set us, in our land, all right? Israel, okay? Because it has been, taken away from us, all right? It says, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And this is not talking about, the heathens. When it says strangers, it's talking about, all right, Israelites, scattered. All right, and now they're coming back to this wisdom and knowledge, calling themselves Judah, Benjamin, proclaiming themselves to their true biblical, nationalities, all right? So we're not in that Gentile state of mind, but, we're coming back to our heritage. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it's another beautiful thing about the kingdom too. Now we're going to rule over our oppressors and have them as servants and handmaids, how the earth was supposed to be. All right, you may look like, oh, it's wrong and shit. Well, Jake, you a fucking servant. All right, you a fucking servant. You a fucking slave to these heathens. How the fuck they can't be servants and handmaids to us? It's only right. Especially the things they've done to us, teaming up with Esau, Edom, coming under one accord to further the affliction with Esau, Edom, right? Because they're part of the oppressor. Because Esau is the main oppressor, but these heathens be oppressing us as well. It says, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. And again, to be another beautiful thing. Because while we here in America, it's like a constant, it's like a fucking, the word I'm trying to use. Like, it's like a constant, going in and going out. You don't have a moment to just, chill. You don't got a moment to just, admire the earth. You don't have a moment to just sit down and, all right, enjoy your day, right? And it's always something. Even on your day off, you're not really off because you got to run errands that you didn't get to run throughout the week because you was working hard as fuck. Especially now, Jake is working 2-3 jobs and shit. All right, so, where do you get the time to truly, rest? Because this is a captivity. This is a bondage. All right. But it says, the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So the Lord's going to give us rest from the bondage and from this captivity where he put us to serve. All right. That's why we're not looking for, a black civil rights leader. We're not looking for that because the Lord going to be the one to give us our true freedom. Okay. The scriptures tell us in Meditations, where is it? There you go. Lamentations 4:20. Start 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. Since the cup also shall pass through unto thee, thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. All right, that cup. All right, we went into slavery. Esau, Edom got to pay for what things that he's done. He that lay in captivity shall go into captivity. All right, it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So our punishment, is coming to a close. That's why you see, that this devil, Esau, Edom, he's losing his grip. That's only because our punishment is coming to a close. All right, the Lord's about to set us free, and set us free, and not have it where we go into captivity again. Because usually it'll be all right. Well, like in Egypt, the Lord would we will cry unto the Lord. You'll hear our cries. He would deliver us from our hard bondage. But then we end up going off again. But it won't be like this. We like that. And we like that. This time, right? Because Jeremiah 30. No, Jeremiah 31 is like Jeremiah 31 and 30. I'll start at 31. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, thou art making a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Really, this needs to get talked about more. The new covenant, because the Lord is about to do with us. It's going to be a complete game changer. And you have men talking about that we in the new covenant now. So that's another reason it should be talked about, even more, really. All right, because the Lord is about to really change us. All right, like just imagine a world where every Israelite, all right, a new covenant, a new promise. Imagine every Israelite never going off. Right, that's big. Right, something that seemed impossible. All right, it's about to come into into possibility, and that's ultimately through the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, changing these bodies, changing these corruptible bodies into something incorruptible, something eternal, and that's what needs to be done. Because for us to live forever, all right, the wages of sin, all right, the wages of sin, all right, have to be done away with, because the wages of sin is death, and when we sin, all right, the consequence of that is dying. So that payment of sin, all right, won't be paid with, with our life. Okay, it says well, so I'm just finished reading. It says, making a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh. Again, so past covenants, all right, we broke it, all right, went off. It says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh. I'll put my laws into their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I'll be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord Yahweh, for they all shall know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sins no more. All right, so basically a clean slate. All right, and Lord's go have it where we won't have to teach a fellow Israelite like we doing now, repent, return to the Lord. You're an Israelite. That I won't have to do that anymore. It's gonna be already within them. All right. Okay, and it says the laws and statutes will be put within our inward parts. That's that perfection. All right, when we won't go off, it's gonna be instinct where we just know. All right, we won't have to battle like we do now, the flesh against the spirit. Like Paul said, doing the things. All right, doing. All right, how it goes. Tongue twister. The thing that I do not. The things that I do, that I want to do, I don't do them. And things I don't want to do, I do. Roughly paraphrasing it in Romans. I believe it's in Romans. We won't have that constant battle anymore. All right, just imagine that, because we fighting in the mind of doing something. Like it be, you basically be having to pray to the Lord, like, Lord, give me the strength to do this. All right, we don't want to be that constant back and forth. It's gonna be just perfection. Okay, perfection. All right, but back in Isaiah 14, I want to finish it off. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. The king of Babylon, being American king, representing the president. And say, how had the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased, right? Because this is a question like how did this happen? Okay, it says the Lord Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers, right? Taking this devil out of rulership. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth, right? Because America is called the hammer of the earth. You know what you do with a hammer? You bang and you bang and you beat and you abuse and you beat. All right? The Lord's about to take him out of power. Okay? You know, because American is the number one oppressor. He oppresses Jake number one the most, but he's even an oppressor to his own people. He's even an oppressor to his own so-called allies. Of these other heathens breaking treaties, not keeping his word. Right? It says, yea, the fir trees. Well, 7. It was when I wanted the point. It says the whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. They break forth into singing. So, there you go. All right. Once this double gets taken out of power, rest. Because now rest only for us, the animals. All right. The earth, the trees. All right. It says, yea, the fir trees at thee. The fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon sing. Cedar lay down, no fellers come up against us. So, even the trees gonna be at peace. You don't gotta worry about deforestation. You don't gotta worry about trees getting planted within concrete, choking the trees and shit. Don't gotta worry about just again the deforestation process, all that. Again, trees getting turned into paper. All right. Okay, and even the ecosystem of the earth is gonna be better. All right. The weather is gonna be better. The rain is gonna be better. The air for the trees is gonna be better. The rain for the trees gonna be better. The leaves go flourish. All right. It's gonna be just a peaceful rejoice, a paradise. How the earth was meant to be, but because of Esau Edom, everything is completely out of whack because it's not for him. All right, to rule. All right, but hey, with that low one, this lesson was edifying and encouraging to those that was listening. Keep on fighting. For this sake. To see this, to witness this, to have this. Okay, but with that again, the one is that's edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh. By Shem Yahweh Shah.